Behold the spectacle of Dapper Day at the Disney parks, where tourists attempt to pull out retro chic like it's their day job. And this time we find ourselves in Walt's experimental prototype, Community of Tomorrow, where the future of fashion clashes with a desperate attempt to resurrect the past. It's a dizzying display of polyester suits and poodle skirts, as if the Jetsons had collided with a thrift store when there was an explosion. So strap on your space-age heels and prepare for a journey through time, where the only thing more outlandish than the attractions are the outfits. Join us today for just a little Splorin.
Splorin!
All right, so the mustache today is very dapper.
The mustache pointing to Mr. Dapper. I gotta come up with another name.
Is this going to be like a thing going forward then?
No, just today.
Okay, the mustache. Well, this is a one-time mustache.
Well, I'll probably keep the mustache, but I won't have the evil twisty on it, even though it's pretty lackluster. It's a scale of 1 to 10. My mustache is a 3 when it comes to the evil scale.
I'm just going to call you Skip today.
Don't give me this Olay bullshit.
Let's hear the evil laugh.
Thanks for getting dressed up today.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? As I say, a Cardinals fan is always dressed up in dapper. So,
Is that what they say?
I can wear whatever I want.
And Kate, this is your first Dapper Day, right?
You look nice. She's like, no thanks. No thanks.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Say hi to your mom for me.
Once upon a time in a kingdom of Disney, a band of rebels rose up against the reign of casual wear, and thus Dapper Day was born, a crusade to rescue theme parks from the clutches of cargo shorts and Crocs. What had begun as a modest gathering soon ballooned into a full-blown fashion extravaganza, with park-goers ditching their mouse ears for bowler hats and their flip-flops for polished Oxfords. It's like a scene out of a vintage movie, but with more sunscreen and fewer leading men. So, Dapper Day became the ultimate fashion showdown. It's a chance for Disney devotees to parade their retro glam down Main Street USA, or in this case, through Future World and Epcot, and prove that you can be classy even when you're surrounded by teacup rides and turkey legs. Fleeing now the increasingly warm noonday sun, we've stepped into the most dapper pavilion of all, the Land. Greg and Adam, who look a little bit like a Dapper Day before and after photo, spend just a few minutes taking photographs with YouTube fans. And now, we'll head down to a surprisingly packed Living with the Land. It's a ride that I absolutely detested as a child, but one that has become my favorite as an adult. And apparently, the secret has gotten out.
The need to produce food for a growing world led to enormous use and sometimes harming.
By breeding and to control pests. In the farmlands across America, we're learning.
Welcome to our living laboratory, where scientists from Epcot and the U.S. Department of Agriculture less than ideal conditions. Even the flower petals are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking.
With our thirst for botanical knowledge adequately quenched, my daughter and I immediately make a beeline for the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind Coaster. No cameras are allowed past the queuing area, and there's not a whole lot of Dapper anyway, so we'll see you on the other side.
And despite the vast distance between us, of our connected story as you journey.
In what was perhaps a stroke of genius, or perhaps just a stroke of convenient coincidence, this particular Dapper Day aligns with Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival, which generally provides a more fitting backdrop than usual for the Dapper-themed festivities. Embracing this theme in perhaps the loosest possible way, we've stopped for a classic British lunch of fish and chips in the UK.
Matchups. What is Crocs?
They're Hoka.
They're okay.
Yeah, I was going pants and shoes, but
Gives me
I could use out like,
I like the Donald outfit.
Thank you.
Morocco provided a taste of Indiana Jones as we continued counterclockwise through the World Showcase, stopping at the Japanese pavilion to browse the wares from a genuine, not sorry Japanese department store.
It's gonna get yourself a dapper hat.
There you go.
You can get a little
White, like Panama Jack.
right.
Brown, like me. Yeah. And black, like Bart. Which one?
You gonna buy one?
Well, which one do you think?
This is probably the most dapper.
You think?
Yeah, this is probably the most dapper.
Okay.
If you haven't already been, this is really a fantastic destination for horticulture, deadly weaponry, and somewhat off-putting beverage and snack names that you really hope are simply mistaken translations to English. While Dapper Day is not an official Disney event, Disney has never really been shy about its ability to capitalize properly on popular trends in the Disney community, and this year there are not one but two Dapper Day 2024 kiosks selling all of your Dapper needs, assuming of course that your Dapper needs are limited to the items that they've decided to stock this year. With the 90-degree April sun continuing to punish those of us who foolhardily enough dressed in layers today, we've stopped in the American Experience for cold beverages inside of a Muppet-themed barbecue. Yes, Jim Henson, that is in fact a thing, and it's surprisingly a delicious thing. Next on our world tour of all things dapper and sweaty, we're making a pit stop in the Venetian-inspired Italy Pavilion, where the dapper is truly coming in waves. In this particular case, the dapper is coming in what we'll refer to as cosmic waves. A little nod to all my Fantastic Four friends out there. Upon reaching the Chinese pavilion, we've taken the path less traveled around the perimeter of the pavilion, and we are rewarded with a beautiful view of their own Temple of Heaven, and an unexpected taste of a Disney World Shanghai exhibit. Disney World Shanghai, of course, is the most technologically advanced of all the Disney resorts, and is located in a region of the world that many would argue is the least receptive to such things as wishes, fantasy, or large family vacations. Still, the exhibit is entertaining and educational, which, I mean, let's face it, is really what Epcot is supposed to be all about. completing our journey around the world, or the World Showcase, we've stopped at Mexico. It's a pavilion that probably holds more nostalgia for me than any of the others, as it remains very similar to the pavilion that I experienced first in 1983 during Epcot's opening year.
I can truly say I don't remember seeing it quite like this in here before.
Are you truly saying it, or are you just saying it? Are you being untruthful with your saying?
Yes, actually. Make stuff up on the fly.
Hear it right there. Hey, back up. Whatever that was, there was like a satellite laser or something up there.
Not sure why, but Scrooge McDuck keeps popping up and shooting people.
Scrooge?
I think it's Scrooge.
The Grand Fiesta Tour version of this ride has been in place since 2007, and even though it has nearly 20 years under its belt as of the time of this vlog somehow, many of us still consider this to be a relatively new overlay, partially since it generally remains the same ride as the previous El Rio del Tiempo, at least up until this final scene. There's really only slight different videos integrated into the set pieces up until you reach this room. Still, in my mind, there will always be 6-foot marionettes dangling in this scene. If you know, you know. Our international tour coming to an end, it's time to wrap up this particular Dapper Day 2024.
All right, wrapping it up, Dapper Day, Epcot 2024.
That's full close.
What do we got here, by the way?
This is an owl.
This is the Dapper Owl.
Yep. He's very dapper.
He's flapping his wings and he's waving his wings.
I think he's perched.
He's perching. Will he be waving his wings later?
Maybe.
The Dapper, at that point, will, of course, come in waves.
Exactly.
There you go. You knew it was going to happen.
Got it.
Reach down below
You
and,
only said it once.
as far as you know, reach down below and slap that
Comes in what?
slap that subscribe button in waves. At least odd numbers, though, because otherwise you will undo the subscribe. And we'll see you next time when we do just a little more Heatstruck.
Splorin.